In today's video, we are going to talk about the modals that can be used to express ability. If you're ready, let's get started. So, ability can, could, and be able to. We use can to say that something is possible. For example, learning a language can be a real challenge. Can also be used when someone has an ability, to say that someone has an ability. Natasha can play the piano. بإمكان ناتاشا العزف على البيانو. Or we can also use can to talk about an opportunity. For example, I'll have some free time tomorrow. I can help her. هنالك إمكانية بأني راح أساعدها. So, الاستخدام الأول اللي كان هو possibility, it means احتمالية. ممكن أيضا we can also use can to say that someone has an ability, أنه شخص ما لديه القدرة، أو ممكن أكو فرصة بالموضوع. Chance. The negative of can is what? Is cannot or can't. Yeah. Now be able to. Be able to is a little more formal and less usual than can. Be able to أيضا معناها باستطاعة أو قادر على, but it is a little more formal, أكثر رسمية من can. However, in some structures we always use be able to, not can. هنالك بعض structures التراكيب تتطلب وجود be able to, not can. The first structure, to infinitive. For example, it's nice to be able to go to the opera. You see, the to infinitive is followed by what? Be able to. We cannot say it's nice to can. Right? The second structure is what? After a modal verb. For example, Melanie might be able to help us. Where is the modal verb? Might. Is followed by what? Be able to. We cannot say Melanie might can help us. We do not have two modals together in one sentence, one after the another. Present perfect. It's been quiet today. I've been able to get some work done. Have plus en. This is what? This is the present perfect. And also pay attention to the word quiet. It is quiet. Do not say quite. Quite, it means تماما. ظرف. Quiet, it means صفة. It means had. Difference in spelling, difference in meaning, and difference in pronunciation. I mean, there is a difference in. Right. For the future, we use can or will be able to, but not will can. If we want to express a future ability, we can use can or will be able to, but we cannot say will can. For example, if we earn some money, we can go or will be able to go on holiday next summer. I'm afraid I can't come to the party on Friday. I'm afraid I won't be able to come to the party on Friday. We do not say I will can come. Okay? It is not acceptable. Good. Next, yeah. For ability or opportunity in the past, إذا كان عندنا قدرة أو فرصة في الماضي, we use could or was, were able to. For example, Natasha could play the piano when she was 4. Natasha was able to play the piano when she was 4. It means كانت قادرة على. In those days, my parents had a car, so they could travel, or they were able to travel very easily. In those days, في تلك الأيام, it means something in the past. Also pay attention to the word parents. It is parents, not parents. Parents. No. Parents. Excellent. Now to say that the ability or opportunity resulted in a particular action, something that really happened, we use was or were able to, but not could. إذا كان الكلام عن قدرة أو فرصة نتجت من حدث ما في الماضي, in this case we use was or were able to. And by the way, was, were able to, it depends on the subject. I was, he was, she was, it was, you were, they were, we were. Right? خاف عندك إشكال بها, ممكن تسأل نفسك ليش was were حسب ضمير الفاعل موجود بالبداية. For example, the plane was able to take off at 11 o'clock after the fog had lifted. The plane, pay attention, plane, طائرة. It is not a plan. Plan خطة, plane, طائرة. Some big difference. Was able to take off after the fog had lifted بعدما انقشع الضباب. Luckily, Mark was able to get the work done in time. Was able to get the work done in time. The drivers were able to stop before they crashed into each other. The drivers were able to stop, كانوا قادرين على, أو كان لكم فرصة أنهم يتوقفون قبل, they crashed into each other. تصادموا. Crashed, not crashed. Okay? Crashed. Good. Yeah. Now we have a difference here between could and were able to. We say the kids could swim when they were quite young. You see here the word quite. Now it means تماما. You see the difference in spelling? اختلاف حتى بالإملاء مع الكلمة. This one, the first one, we are talking about the past ability. Past ability. قدرة في الماضي. كنت قادر على عمل الشيء, مو إلا كان بها حدث سابق. The kids were able to swim across the river. Here we are talking about a past action. حدث صار في الماضي دال على قدرة. Okay? كانوا قادرين على السباحة عبر النهر. It means حدث معين تم انتهى. Anyway, in negative sentences and questions we can use either form. إذا كانت جملة منفية أو أو استفهامية نستخدم كلا الحالتين. It was foggy, so the plane couldn't or wasn't able to take off. Take off, it means تقلع. The pool was closed, so they couldn't have a swim, or they weren't able to have a swim. Could you describe the man to the police? Were you able to describe the man to the police? Here we have a question. Right? Now, finally, what do we have? Just pay attention to this point. We normally use could, but not was or were able to, with verbs of seeing. What does mean verbs of seeing? we have these verbs: examine, gaze, look, notice, observe, recognize, view, watch, etc. There are so many verbs of seeing, but I have written only these. Okay, so stick to these. And with verbs of thinking, right? What do we have? Believe, consider, decide, dream, forget, imagine, know, realize, think, understand. You see, all of these verbs are preceded by what? Are preceded by could. Okay? Do not put was or were able to before them. And you have here examples. She could only gaze at him in astonishment. You see, could is followed by what? Or sorry, gaze is preceded by what? By could. You do not say she was able to gaze at him. It is not acceptable. Another example, we could recognize the truck in the distance. Could recognize. I wish I could believe in myself and take more risks. I wish I could believe in myself. شخص ما. I want you to believe in yourself. Finally, we have this example. I couldn't understand what was happening. I couldn't understand what was happening. So, to this point, we shall stop. Thank you for listening and see you next time.